Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We have with us Imran Jaffer, who is the founder and CEO of Total Wealth Solutions, and we are here to learn from him about money, meaning, and memories. So, a quick intro about Imran. He's a trusted wealth strategist for over 2 decades to high net worth families, guiding them through complexities of wealth management, legacy planning, and strategic investing. With deep expertise in navigating multi generational wealth, tax optimization, and financial strategies, Imran and his team they help clients not just to preserve their wealth but also grow with purpose. So Imran, let's start with the first question that what inspired you about this profession and how did you become a total wealth strategist?
Good morning. Good morning to you, and very good morning to all the viewers as well. Thank you, Raheel, for having me. You're doing such an excellent job by educating the community and bringing awareness about different topics of life. So kudos to you and to your team. Going back to your question, what inspired me to join this profession? My profession isn't just about numbers. It's about changing lives. I just didn't want to understand money for myself. I wanted to help others feel confident about it as well. So what really drives me is seeing that moment when clients goes from anxious to empowered, when they say, I feel in control. See, money doesn't manage itself. If you don't tell it where to go, it will disappear.
Absolutely. So what would be the advice that Imran you would like to share with someone in their 20s, in their 30s, in your 40s? How does that go?
That's a great question. So, right, you see, in your 20s, if you're in your 20s, you need to do is build habits. And I don't know why this stuff isn't taught in schools. It's just mind-blogging. But in the 20s, you are laying the foundation. The best advice, start as early as possible, even if it's small. Automate your savings and invest those savings. Learn about retirement accounts. Learn to budget, build credit, and time is the greatest asset which is on your side. So let that magic work for you. So start now. Going into the 30s, your 30s are when the life gets real. Career, kids, mortgage. Now it's the time to get serious about your financial planning. Max out your retirement accounts, build an emergency fund, consider asset protection and estate planning, track your net worth, refine your goals, and start investing with a purpose. Also, very important, this is very important. At this time, typically people fall into the trap of comparing lifestyles with their friends or the families. Stay focused on your own financial journey. Now, going back to the 40s and the 50s, your 40s and 50s, especially 50s, is the crunch time. Retirement is no longer a distance idea. It is coming real. Review your retirement accounts, pay off the higher interest debt, and get crystal clear on what retirement looks like for you. Will you travel? Or will you work part-time? Will you volunteer? Your financial plan should reflect your lifestyle goals. And don't forget, healthcare planning. It's a big piece of the puzzle. So
That's great. Thank you for sharing such lifelong learning advices, Imran. Like, is there a mindset shift that is required? Like, what requires that someone to think through as you're sharing with us for their planning? What's the mindset shift that you would suggest us? What you would
uh,
advise?
great. You have all the right questions, Raheel. You've been doing your homework, huh? So, the biggest mindset shift, stop thinking money as something you spend. I will repeat it. Stop thinking of money as something you spend and start seeing it something you grow. So most people view money as a tool of consumption. But when you shift your mindset to see the money as a seed, something you plant, something you nurture, you will start making decisions that build long-term wealth. Certainly, saving isn't a sacrifice, it's an investment to freedom. It's very empowering.
Right. And what's the biggest mistake that people do while doing this planning?
What I have noticed is they have too much time on the hand. They think that they have too much time on the hand. They will figure it out later. They spend without intention and hope that it will all work out. Hope is not a strategy. I have personally seen high earners living paycheck to paycheck and modest earners building wealth slowly and steadily. So the difference isn't income, it's planning it right.
Right. So, what's the worst advice, Imran, that you have heard someone giving about the financial planning?
So I would say not having enough awareness and not educating themselves with the changing investment horizon. And secondly, not taking action. Knowledge is power, but only when you take action. And lastly, these days, following the herd. Your financials is not a cookie cutter deal. It is personal to you and to your goals. Social media suggestions, following that he bought the family member, the friend he bought, he sold this and said that following the herd, I think it's a killer in a financial planning.
Right. That's so valuable for us to learn from you, Imran. And what would you suggest that what's the reason why people make irrational decision making about it? And then how to overcome those kind of thoughts?
So I personally feel that people make irrational money decisions, especially when their emotions are involved, and then they're looking for shortcuts. More specifically, like people fear losses more than they value gains. Money is treated differently based on where does it come from. If, for example, when I say that, it's like spending a bonus recklessly. People will spend bonus recklessly, other because it feels like extra money. But at the end of the day, money is money. By prioritizing short-term pleasure over long-term goals, which leads to overspending. So those are what I would say the irrational decisions.
Right. So in this case, like what would you suggest, like how to plan for the multi-generational wealth transfer?
So now shifting gears, so what's the most effective strategies for like multi-generational wealth transfer would be transferring wealth across generations isn't just a financial transaction, it's a legacy decision. And most effective strategies combine smart planning with deep family engagement is very important. It is not just about passing down the assets, it's about preserving value, minimizing taxes, and ensuring long-term family harmony. Establishing the trust, those that you outlive, using lifetime gift strategies, pre-funding the education early, leveraging entities like family LLCs, creating a family governance system, host family meetings, have a family mission statement, open communication to prevent conflicts and trust, plans for trust, plan for taxes, basically. So, like exemptions, you should be aware of that. Educate and empower your next generation. Ultimately, the goal isn't just to transfer wealth, it's to transfer stewardship. That means preparing your family emotionally, financially to carry the legacy forward. So those are the a couple of the points I would think that is the most important.
Right. And in this case, like, are there any specific vehicles which could be very helpful in completing this aspect as you're sharing with us? Could there be some trust or foundations or like offshore entities that could be helpful? What's your take on that?
Great. So now comes the actionable plan. Trust, foundation, entities are powerful tools in advanced financial planning, especially for high net worth families looking to protect assets, optimize taxes, and ensure smooth generational wealth transfer. Using the right trust provides control and protection, provides efficiency, asset protection, and privacy, as we talked about. Um, Foundations provide philanthropy, succession planning, asset protection, control. Going back to the trust, which we talked about, is the right state planning, the tax protection, the asset protection, the tax efficiency. All these tools are powerful, but they require legal expertise and tax guidance to avoid compliance complicated issues. So I would make sure that you're using the right team to have all these in place according to your goals, according to your needs.
Right. So based on this point, like, are there any particular pitfalls that wealthy families should avoid? How would you suggest that?
Great. So wealthy families faces unique challenges when managing and transferring assets. When it comes to preserving across generations, the biggest threats aren't market crashes or market risk. They're legal missteps. The common pitfalls I see wealthy families fall into are following the a couple just for discussion's sake. Failing to fund the trust properly and don't have proper trust for different goals. Setting up a trust is great, but if you don't transfer assets into it, it's an empty shell. Ignoring tax implications. Without proper planning, families lose millions to taxes. Tools like irrevocable trusts, charitable foundations, gifting strategies can reduce exposure. Overlooking international assets. So families with global holdings often forget that state laws vary country by country. If your plan doesn't account for cross-border rules, your family could face legal battles or even double taxation. Continuing on the same discussion, neglecting family dynamics. Money can magnify tensions, as we know. If your estate plan doesn't address potential conflicts, like unequal distributions or unclear roles, it can lead to litigation and fractured relationships. Also, adding on, choosing the wrong trustees. A trustee should be financially savvy, impartial, and trustworthy. Picking somebody based on emotions rather than expertise can lead to mismanagement of family disputes. Not updating the plan. Life changes, marriages happen, divorces happen, birth, death. If your estate plan isn't reviewed regularly, it may no longer reflect your wishes or legal realities. Um, Lastly, failing to prepare the next generation. Passing down the wealth without the education is a receipt for disaster. Financial literacy, family meetings, and mentorships are key to preserving both assets and value. Now, the bottom line is wealth preservation isn't about what you own. It's about how you structure it, protect it, and prepare your family to carry it forward. These were some of the points I would highlight.
Right. So how would you suggest for someone to prepare well for any liquidity event? Like, for example, if someone has a business and then they are selling the business or planning to sell the business, how should they plan about it?
Right. So we hear this very commonly that, hey, that person's business got sold or and this event is happening. Selling a business isn't just a financial transaction. It's a transition. So start planning early. The earlier you start, the more options that will give you optimizing the business structure for tax efficiency. Transfer the shares to the trust or family at lower valuations for lower valuations. Build a post-sale investment strategy. So the goal is to keep more of the proceeds working for the family, not going to the IRS. Basically, I would say that.
Right. So how would you suggest, like, especially the proceeds part and how that major exit that someone would have, then what would be the tax implication and how to maximize the impact?
See, a major liquidity event is once in a lifetime opportunity. Without smart planning, I would say you could lose million to taxes. But with the right structure, you can preserve wealth, create wealth, and build a legacy. So choose the right deal structure. There are various options: stock sale versus asset sale, installment sales. Coming to the taxes part, leverage tax advantage vehicles, the QSBC. I won't go too much into details, but if you're eligible, you can use those CRTs or DEFs. So you can use those vehicles, leverage those vehicles for the tax advantage purpose. Integrate your state plan, for example, the guarantor trust, family limited partnerships, to transfer future appreciation tax efficiently. Limited partnerships to consolidate and manage assets while gifting shares at a discounted value. Clarify legacy goals. How much is enough, and what's meant for the family or philanthropy? So those would be, and maximize. See, I would add also that maximize impact beyond taxes. So define your post-exit goals: philanthropy, family legacy, entrepreneurship, lifestyle. Structure your proceeds from business to support those goals, whether through foundation, trust, or impact in investing. Ultimately, you want to turn a liquidity event into a legacy event. It's not just about maximizing the sale, it's about maximizing the meaning. Mhm.
Absolutely. And that's how maximizing the impact for having that money and creating that meaning and creating that memories.
Great. So, Rahil, just summing it up, money is never about just numbers. It's about the life you build with it, the values you pass on, and the stories that live beyond the balance sheet. So, whether you're just starting out, navigating a major transition, or thinking about legacy, remember your financial decisions shape more than your future. They shape the family's culture, your community impact, and the memories you will leave behind. So just don't chase wealth, build meaning, create memories, and make money a tool for something bigger. See, investing, protection, asset protection, legacy planning are all done for a personalized purpose. So find your purpose. That's I would say.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Imran, for sharing this wealth of knowledge with us. And lastly, how can someone get in touch with you?
So first of all, Rahil, thank you again for having me and for your viewers to listening. I really appreciate the effort, and I hope some of this discussion made an impact. In the next slide, you will see the information about me. The website is there. Feel free to reach out, and I would be happy to answer any question. This is not a legal advice. We just had a journal discussion. So please consult your personal consultant, or you can reach out to us for individual consultation. Thank you, Rahil, and the viewers.
Thank you, Imran. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, everyone.